Okay. Should be coming up live any moment now.
Okay.
Okay. And we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports. This is a paid members chat. So basically, if you're a member of BWTM Sports and the BWTM Sports community, feel free to jump in and have your say. Otherwise, sit back, enjoy the show. We have with us tonight Hall of Fame trainer, former trainer of Mike Tyson and many more heavyweight champions, Stacey Mckinley. Stacey, how are we doing?
Just great. Everything is good.
Happy New Year and Happy New Decade.
Happy New Year to you and all your fans and all the people out there. Everything is good.
Fantastic. For the people who don't know who you are, just a very quick recap as to who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm a fight trainer. I've been training boxers for the last 50 years. I've trained multiple heavyweight champions, including Mike Tyson, Tony Tucker, Samuel Peters, and going down the line. I work with like 35 world champions, and right now I got Trevor Bryan, who's the WBA interim champion, getting ready to get the regular title, and I got all the other fighters this fighting.
Okay.
Detroit Crunch Gym, everything.
Now, on the subject of that Trevor Bryan fight, we were talking this last September about that Trevor Bryan fight. That never seemed to happen. What is going on about Trevor Bryan fight?
You know, I would like to know that myself. I mean, I talked to some of the representatives from the WBA. I talked to our promoter, Don King, and we were waiting on the word. If Shaw's not going to fight, which it looks like he's not going to fight, they're going to move Trevor Bryan into the regular championship, and then I would basically be the champion in recess, and hopefully we can get our first title defense, and we'll fight next if Shaw won't fight. But the whole is they've been holding this title up for about 3 years, maybe a little bit longer than that. So we're all anxious right now. We're just training, but it's time to get in the ring and fight.
Okay, you're breaking up slightly. You sound slightly choppy when you're speaking. So apologies for the people that are listening. So yeah, just slightly choppy. So if you do get choppy again, I'll get you to repeat it. That's not because I can't hear you. It just sometimes is a bit choppy. Okay. So you'll basically say you've been training, and you're basically waiting for a fight. Manuel Shaw seems to have disappeared, and now he's talking about reappearing. What's going on with Manuel Shaw?
I don't know. It's just been a big problem there. We've been trying to get this guy in the ring, and the WBA has been promising us that fight is going to happen or some other fight is going to happen. We need to get this title back out there. We need to get this title working out there because people have forgot about the regular title. And I don't know, Emmanuel Shaw, Don King gave him an offer, and he didn't come through. So he's been holding this title up for quite a spell, and we trying to fight. Trevor Bryan want to fight. We've been in this heavyweight mix as soon as possible.
But the WBA title, I mean, the WBA organization, they should strip Shaw of the title, simple, so move things on. Why have they still kept Shaw as champion for so long?
I don't know what the problem is. I think that they may be concerned about the litigations and that's going to take place. Shaw is stalling. One minute he said he want to fight. Don King made him a great offer. He still turned it down. So I don't know. They need to move on with this title. They need to move on with this title and start making this fight. They got to build this title back up again because it's been in limbo for so long. And a lot of people are not even aware of the regular WBA title.
Okay, yeah, the WBA is actually the original WBA title, correct?
That's right. That's the one that Muhammad Ali fought for, George Foreman, Rocky Marciano. It's the oldest boxing sanctioned organization in the world, over 100 and some years old. So it was a big title. It still is a big title. It all depends who represent the title. Once we get the title, we're gonna represent it, and Don King will help build it back up. Without a doubt.
You're still sounding choppy. Is there any way you can improve the quality of your sound from your end? Because it's still very choppy.
Is it get better now?
That sounds better now. So you're saying that Don King will basically re-establish that belt because it was the original belt in boxing, over 100 years old. You were stating Rocky Marciano, Muhammad Ali's fought for that belt. Why do you think that people have kind of forgotten that belt for the WBA Super Champion and all these other belts?
Well, I think it's more of a business. I think it's more of a business. The more belts you have, the more sanction fees that they got to pay to the organization. I remember when they were saying, well, we only need one champion and the one belt. But when the WBA, the IBF, WBC, and WBA came out, then after a while, I began to understand, hey, look, everybody got to get a chance to make a living. And so it gives a lot of other opportunity to be champions to make a living. Whereas you have one belt and fight once a year, so you get past number 2, number 3, number 4. It takes them 4 or 5 years to get a title fight. So the belts, okay. I mean, I don't have a problem with the belts. It's just that we just need to make a fight. That's all.
Okay, it's really hard to hear you because you're breaking up and down during the chat, which is for people who want to listen in. It's a shame because a Hall of Fame trainer calling in, and we can't quite hear what you're saying. So, is there a way you can make it any clearer from your end?
I don't know. Is it better?
A bit better, but not much.
I don't understand.
Okay, let's push on. So, let's talk a bit more. So, this situation with Trevor Bryan, is there any deadlines now before this fight can happen or for this fight to happen?
Well, there's no deadlines. There's no deadline. I mean, we've been told that WBA will make a decision last month, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So at any time, they got to make a decision on his champion, on his title, as opposed to which way we're going to go. So we're good just waiting like everybody else, but it's time to get something done.
Okay.
It's really time to get something done. I have the networks, Showtime, Espinoza, everybody's interested in Trevor Bryan. So we need to get this title where it's supposed to be, so we start this kid to move on with his career.
Okay. Is there anything Don King can do himself, a very influential man in boxing as a promoter? Is there anything Don King can do to push the agenda forward?
Well, Don has been working with the WBA, consistently working with the WBA on this, and he's been told the same thing that everybody else is being told, that go make a decision on this, and so we just wait day by day. We just wait. It's supposed to happen at any time, but I don't know. But yeah, he's working. He's been working real hard.
Okay, fair enough. Let's move on. Last night there was in some people's minds, an upset with Gelson Rosario beating J-Rock. Your thoughts on that fight?
Well, my thoughts on the fight, going into the fight, I knew that I was talking to some friends of mine, Kevin Cunningham, who also was one of the outstanding trainers, but I was letting him know that this kid, Rosario, trains at my gym.
Okay.
And, in fact, this trainer, Ruiz, is my cut man. You see him in the corner with me and Trevor Bryan, all my fighters. So they all work together, and I had predicted that Rosario would beat him. I figured he'd knock him out about 8 rounds, but it was my prediction that he would beat him. I had no problem. I knew he would beat him.
Well, I should have called you before the fight. Nice one, Stacey. You should have let me tip me off beforehand. Could have won some money.
Right.
So why was it you believed that Rosario would have beaten? What was it about J-Rock that did impress you or made you feel that Gelson had the beating of him?
Well, J-Rock's a good fighter. Don't get me wrong, he's a good fighter. He beat her. He stopped him. I knew for a fact, fighting Rosario, that Rosario was on a different level. I knew that he's physically too strong. I know that he's mentally strong, and I knew that he was in full condition because my conditioning trainer also worked with him, Ramon out of Atlanta. Also, we got a special strengthening program that we run in the gym, and I've seen this kid top fighters, and I knew that Rosario was very strong. I knew that he could punch with either hand. It kind of reminded me of Michael Cole. He didn't look like a good puncher, but he had heavy hand. And I've seen them train with top fighters. I got Carlos Monroe, number 5 in the world. They spy Hakeem, Lopez, all these kids. And one of the things you got to understand is this kid does to the right. You go to training camp. He's in training camp for 4 months. You go to training camp for 4 months. You have a chance, an opportunity to get your skill level up, that the conditioning, your diet is right, and you have the mental capacity to fulfill what your job is, because you're in training camp. You're sleeping every night. My trainer, strength and conditioning trainer, stand in the house with them and they
Interesting. You're suggesting that this guy, Rosario, is the real deal.
Rosario is a beast. He's a beast of a fighter. He's one of the best. He's going to be one of the best I've seen in a long time. He has everything. He can take a punch. You saw that last night. He got hit in the first round a couple of shots. He took those shots real easy. If you notice that he throws good left hooks, he throws right hands, he can counter punch, he rolls his punches. He does all these different things that the other fighters are not doing. Uppercuts. He do a lot of different things. The thing about it is, what people understand is he broke J-Rock down in 3 rounds. He broke him down. I mean, he was breathing hard and everything. But you only saw a part of this Rosario. You didn't see all of Rosario because Rosario has about 2 more levels up that he can go. He was just in slow motion. I know they might say it was slow motion, yeah, but I know that his pace is a lot higher than that. Yeah. And I had predicted after about 6 rounds that pace would be too high and he would destroy J-Rock. But he got him earlier. He hit him with uppercuts, body shots. You notice he get a head, he go to the body, you shoulder roll a right hand, come back with strike right hands, hook. The whole thing, and they touch you, you can feel it. He's just going to be just a beast of a fighter. You know?
I understand they're going to try and put Kell Brook in there with him next. What are your thoughts on Kell Brook versus him?
You can beat him. I mean, listen, they're not going to beat this boy. It's going to get hard to beat this. They were talking about Shiloh and all those boys. They're not going to be able to beat this boy. This boy got too much for him. They're not going to be able to beat him. They just saw a small portion of him. You know, one of the things is this. He's more like a sleeper. I remember he was a beat fighter. They brought him here. He was a beat fighter. Then he go in there and fight the beat fighter, knock him off. Then they put him in another fight, get him knocked out. Now he's knocking everybody out, but he's supposed to be a beat fighter. So now, the bottom line is, you thought he was a beat fighter. He was an A fighter. A couple more fights, it's going to be hard to beat him. Very hard to beat him.
Oh yeah, it's not good. So so if you put him in with Charlo tomorrow or the next fight up, you're saying that he beat Charlo too.
I give him. I would like to see him get 2 more fights, and it's not basically just the fights in the ring. I like to see him get 2 more training camps.
Okay.
I like to see him 2 more training camps and be with my strength and conditioning trainer for 2 more camps. It's about the camps and the styles and the work ethics in the gym, not necessarily going in a fight and getting knocked out in 1 or 2 rounds. But I like to see him do 2 more training camps, and then Charlo, you can bring him on. I don't think Charlo be sitting around this kid.
Wow. One of the things I said in my post fight was that J-Rock is a good fighter, but he'd been knocked out before, so he did show vulnerability around the chin. So when my friend said to me, look, J-Rock just got stopped, I said, well, I wasn't surprised. Because it seems today, because of the various wars between PBC, Top Rank, and all the different broadcasters, that there's a tendency to overrate good fighters. So a guy who's a decent or good fighter becomes a great fighter, not because they actually are a great fighter, but because they just have to sell it because each organization has to say they've got the best fighters. And I think this situation happened here with J-Rock, in my opinion, that J-Rock's a good fighter, but a lot of people thought he was a great fighter. So therefore, when he got beat by Rosario, it was a shock. Whereas I just took it as it wasn't even an upset. It was like, well, this was to be expected with a guy who is a bit suspect around chin with a guy who's heavy-handed. Your thoughts?
Well, the thing about that is, you have to understand, PBC has done a great job in promoting their fighters. They took a guy like Wilder and made him a superstar, and other fighters that he making stars out of. They're doing a fantastic job. So they took J-Rock, and J-Rock has a good following in Philadelphia. Philadelphia is a fight city, so they got to try to promote him to be that next guy. But he's not that next guy because right now he got Rosario in front of him, and he got the Carlos in front of him. So he's not there. He's not there, and to take a fight like he took against this kid, and the punishment that he took within 5 rounds, that's 5 rounds. I mean, the uppercuts and the hooks and the body shots. It let you know right there that you're in a whole different class. This kid look at his body. He's big. He's big. He's strong. He can absorb a punch. So you look at it from that standpoint. This kid is an all-round good fighter, and you only saw this is a small portion of this kid. I'm telling you, this kid can go up 2 or 3 more levels. That thing could have got hot, but he had too much on that level. If he had around 2 more levels, my God, he really bad. I don't think he'll never get seen.
But do you think the problem with J-Rock also is that he could be tight at the weight, or is that just an excuse?
Say it again.
Do you think he could be tight at the weight, or do you think that's just an excuse?
No, he's no better than what you saw last night. He's not going to be any better. It's nothing he's going to be able to do to change. It's going to change in new trainers, new this, new that. He ain't going to do no better. He's about at his peak what he can do. And now the problem is he just got guys in front of him, the guy in front of him that's a lot better, got a lot more going for himself. So it's nothing that he can do to improve himself. This is it. He reached his peak, and that's it. And right there, he's in that house. The fighter is very, very hard. I mean, he's a very good fighter, but he's no great fighter. He's no Marvin Hagler, those type of guys. Come on now. So you have to look at this competition. Now you got something out there that somebody's fearing. I ain't looking at the kids saying, wait a minute, this thing done got dangerous. And it has in the weight class.
Okay. Let's move on to the heavyweights, something that you know a very, very a lot about. Let's talk about Wilder versus Fury, the rematch. I know you're a Tyson Fury fan. What have you thought of Tyson Fury's recent fights, the Wallin fight and the Schwartz fight, and of course the WWE thing?
Well, the thing about I had him as number 1 heavyweight. I think that he was the number 1 best heavyweight in the world because of his skill level, his moves, the things that he does in the ring. He can shake and bake. He fence good. He got good defense. He can roll, shoulder roll. And for a tall guy, he actually roll on the shots. Yes, he was all-around good boxer to me, really good boxer to me, and that's why I had it at number 1. But the last couple of fights, a lot of times you can't get up for those type of guys. So that's not anything that can tell me. It doesn't tell me what he's really at. The thing that changes, I had to predict win again, but he made some changes that something happened to him. He made some changes. I don't think he's gonna be the same fighter.
You're saying the changes he's made are not going to help him in the Wilder rematch?
No. I predicted him to win the first fight. Then I came up with, okay, maybe it'll be a 50-50 fight. But now, it's one of the problems that I have right now is that and everybody got to be, I read about it today. They were saying about his spine. He was trying to stay away from the cut over his eye. Now, that eye could be a big factor in this fight because if that cut open up, it's all over with. But that was something that he didn't have before when he fought Wilder. There's been a change in the training. The training got a new trainer, this type of thing. Now, my opinion on that is there was nothing wrong with you in the beginning, so there was nothing to fix. So why don't you change trainers and go to a different trainer who really don't know you, who really doesn't have any experience as a heavyweight, although the close friend of mine, Emmanuel nephew, we all came up together. But that change the trainer, that's the thing that worried me the most in that cut, because training the heavyweight is a little bit different, and nothing was broke. There was nothing broke about Fury. Fury got hit, the shot behind, looked like the first time he went down, was shot behind the ear, and he got hit with a hard right hand and slipped the left hook. So he got caught with 2 good shots to put him down. Other than that, it's not that he made a mistake. Even the boxing ring, he don't get hit. But what he needed to do was just strengthen up his chin and go back into the same fight, because if it wasn't for the knockdown, he'd have won the fight. Some people still thought he won.
Okay, so why do you think Fury's made the change for this rematch when everything's going so well, in your opinion?
Well, it has to be 2 things. One of the things is it has to be, well, I don't want to pay this guy. Well, I don't want to pay him the percentage that he wants. I don't want to pay him what he's asking for. Or he's listening to other people telling him, well, you need to do this, you need to do that. If you make these changes, you could stop Wilder, you could have done this. Now, it's my understanding. I heard someone say that, I think it was, I I think it was Tim Bradley. So, well, Chili Hill going to show him how to stand there and be a little bit more aggressive, wilder, which I think is a mistake.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we got this in Detroit. We got this Tony Hearns type of javelin foot right hand type thing. That's our offense, but that ain't gonna work. It doesn't work with a guy like Fury. You try to change him to be a Detroit style fighter, and you got a problem. You got a problem. You can't change it. He has to continue to do what he's doing. If he changes, try to stand there and thinking that I'm gonna knock this guy out in 1 or 2 rounds, 9 times out of 10 he's gonna get stopped.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Fury thinks if he sits on his punches a bit more and has a tear up with Wilder, he wins. I don't see that somehow. I think that's suicidal.
Yeah, I think he should have stayed with his trainer. And another thing about Fury's trainer, I don't know if the trainer gonna quit. I heard somebody say, he said, well, they're gonna cut my money, so I'm not gonna train him. I'm not gonna do this. But he has to grow up himself. He's a young guy and he's a young trainer. He has to understand how this business goes. You just can't walk away. You just can't walk away because this guy is at the top. This guy's at the top of the food chain in boxing, and you just can't walk away from a fighter saying, well, they're gonna cut my money and my feelings are hurt. I think it's wrong. Well, you better help yourself, brother, because if you don't, you're not going to be in boxing long. These type of things happen. I remember when I was with Mike Tyson, and we brought on another trainer. So the thing asked me who do I want to work with, and I picked another trainer. And then I found out that he was paying the trainer a little bit more than he was paying me. And I had been doing all the work anyway. I'm doing all the training. But anyway, I was kind of pissed off, and I said, you know what? I'm not going for this. I'm not going to go for this. So I called a friend of mine's, Dave Jacobson trained Shirley Leonard. And I was talking to Dave about it. And Dave told me, he said, look, Stacey, where are you going to get another Mike Tyson? Where are you going to get another fighter that can pay you and you can do things for your family to make this type of money that you're making? He said, don't you do it, don't you leave. He said, because I left Sugar Ray. Because I had the same feeling. I left Sugar Ray. And what I would have been financially if I had stayed with Ray. So you have to get to a point in this game to where it's not about you, trainer. It's about business also. So I'm saying to the young trainer out there, look, go back and work with Sugar Hill. Work with him. Maybe he can help you out a little bit. You know that he does. And working together works. So I wouldn't advise him to walk away and wearing his stickers on his shirt sleeve, because if it's boxing business, if you wear your stickers on your shirt sleeve, you're in the wrong business. You need to get up out of this business, because this ain't the way it goes. So things changes. So you got to stay there, work with them, and make the money you're making, and enjoy it, because it's at the top of the food chain, and you're not going to get another heavyweight on that. It'll be a long time. So that's the young man, stay there and help heal out. You're going to need some help. Definitely going to need some help.
Wow, that's very, very interesting. Very wise words from you again. From Deontay Wilder perspective of him, do you think he's improved as a champion? Because I think he has. What's your thoughts?
Well, I think his confidence level is up. I think his confidence level is up. I saw some moves in the ring. I also saw some things that I didn't like in his last fight. I don't know what if he's going to have the effect in this fight or not. But I saw some moves that Ortiz was putting on him, and I saw that Wilder was hesitant. He was hesitant to gamble and take chances against Ortiz, and therefore Ortiz was leading the fight up until he got knocked out. And I'm wondering, why is this guy so hesitant? Why is he so hesitant of Ortiz? And I'm looking at Ortiz is not the same fighter that I fought the first time, and there's reasons for that. There's an age difference. Ortiz a little bit older, although he come out, kind of shaking and baking and making these moves, but he was winning the fight. And Wilder was hesitant, it seemed like to me he was falling for these little fists, and was hesitant because of the little fists that just put on. So I'm looking at Big Wilder like, what's your problem? Why are you falling for all these little hits? I said, because it's obvious that Ortiz is not the same fighter he was that you fought the first time. And that has a lot to do with preparations. I mean, you take a 40-year-old man and you take him to Nevada and you train him out there at high altitude, You're not doing that fighter. You're breaking him down. You're too old to go in high altitude. You don't take a fighter that's a certain age and put him in high altitude to let him train. You don't take a fighter that's abused drugs and put him in high altitude to train because you're not helping him. You're running the mountains.
Wow.
But his working against him, breaking him down. So we put him in Las Vegas, and the first thing I thought to myself is, okay, somebody don't understand how this game really goes, don't have the experience because he had no business in Las Vegas because of the high altitude. It'll break you down. You know, it doesn't build you up in certain age. That's for a young fighter. High altitude is for young fighters, especially in fighters that I say young fighters. That's what that for fighters with age and drug abuse fighters. They have no business in the high altitude because it's not going to help. It's going to break them down. So that had a lot to play. Had a lot to do with this particular fight against Ortiz against Wilder. And although Ortiz was winning, and all at once he lost focus. He lost focus and hesitated for 1 minute. And Wilder hit him with a short right hand. And it was a devastating short right hand because it was normally he throw right hand. He leans off balance. He loses his balance when he throws the right hand. He trying to punch all the way through, but this time it was short because the man stood in front of it. So I don't like the reflexes, and I don't like the reflexes and the rhythm that I saw of Wilder in that particular fight. But also, if Fury, if he gonna stand flat-footed and try to box and use power against this kid, then he gonna lose half of his ability because it's shake and bake. That's him. This shake and bake. That's that rhythm thing that keeps everybody upset and off balance.
But Fury's saying how Sugar Hill's going to help him turn the right hand over and get him punching harder. I mean, is that all talk? Because, as I said, I think it's quite you're conceding your skill set to become a puncher, which is not what you really are. You're a shake and bake fighter.
Right. Well, it's like I was saying earlier. You have to understand the mentality of Detroit trainers and Detroit fighters. Our fighting style is we live with the jab. We live with the jab, we live with the left hook, and we live with the right hand. Now, if you watch most Detroit fighters, especially the older ones, you'll see that they all had superb right hands. Because they shift their weight off their right foot, push it from the floor, they turn the right hand over, and it comes out straight. But Tommy Hines' right hand, I had the one myself. You turn them over. So what Sugar Hill is trying to put into Fury about turning the right hand over, he can't do that. It ain't going to happen. He can't do that. He's going to do like he always did. And if he hesitates and tries to do it, he's going to get knocked out.
Oh,
but
boy.
He can't do it.
So if you were going to be, well, you are, from your non-fan point of view, from a professional standpoint, now, has the tables turned in Wilder's favour in this rematch?
Yes. Big time.
Uh-oh.
He turned in his favour big time. He changed trainers, and he sustained that deep cut over his eye, then everything changes. I mean, I can tell you this, I'm not a betting man because I don't gamble, but I bet you the odds changed in Las Vegas. I bet the odds, the bet on the fight, I bet the closer it get, it's going to change because of those two factors that I just told you. You started researching, you started looking at research, and they started, if you're gambling, then you start going and say, okay, he switched trainer, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. Okay, how many heavyweights has this trainer trained? How many heavyweight champions has he worked with? Boom, boom, boom. You start putting all that together, then you put the cut in there. Then now the odds going to change on the fight. They're going to tell you right there that, hey, look, it's a lot different than it was the first time around. So, yes, it's a whole different thing right now.
Okay, but let me throw this at you. When Joshua got knocked out by Andy Ruiz, the rematch was, oh, well, you shouldn't take the rematch. He's changed his trainer. He's going to box a totally different style to what he's ever boxed in his career. And then he pulls off a style. Although it wasn't pleasant, he boxed around the ring for 12 rounds. Ruiz's state didn't help, but he boxed for 12 rounds in a style I'd never seen Anthony Joshua boxing before. So he pulled it off, a different style.
Yeah, well, I'm going to put it to you. I'm going to put it to you like this. I watched Joshua fight. Okay? What I saw was a scared man.
Yes.
What I saw in the ring was a scared man. I saw a man who was trying to think too much. He was thinking too much about what's going to happen if I do this, if I do that. This is why he was clinching and holding a lot when Ruiz got close to him. But the thing that he should have been thinking is this: uh, Ruiz, to me, Ruiz is a disgrace to boxing. He's a disgrace to the heavyweight championship. He's a disgrace to all the great fighters who come before him: Muhammad Ali, Rocky Marciano, John L. Sullivan, Jack Johnson. Those guys fought, and they respected those belts. They respected the belt. They had a high place for the belt. Once you become heavyweight champion of the world, you get an obligation to the people. You got an obligation to the sanctioning body to represent the highest sport covenant in the world of being heavyweight champion of the world. And Ruiz was sickening to me. He told a disgrace, and as far as I'm concerned, he should be banned from boxing at least for a year. To come in that ring, like they said, well, he weighed in at 283 pounds. When I saw that, I said, wait a minute. When he get hydrated, he come in that ring at 300 pounds. I said, fight night, he's going to come in at 300 pounds. He's a big old slob and a big old butterball, and has no business in a world title fight because he looked and disgraced the title. He's a disgrace to boxing. I'll tell him to his face, this is the way I feel. It's very sickening. I had the same gut feeling when I watched Reddy Bowe take the WBC belt and throw it in the garbage can. You don't do that. You don't do things like that. That belt means something. You got to have pride. I wore that belt with pride. He said, the belt belonged to me. The belt belonged to me. Why he has it, but then he had to pass it on. But that boy came in with 3 belts, and he disgraced every last one of those sanctioning bodies. He's a disgrace to boxing to come in that ring in the condition that he's in. And AJ saw what was going on, but he was hesitant and was refrained from trying to take him out. He should have knocked him out. Should have knocked that fat boy out, because if that boy couldn't throw all them combinations and punches, he couldn't get out of the way. He couldn't cut the ring off with the force that he had before, because he's a disgrace to boxing, and that's the way I see it.
All right, you say it's a disgrace to boxing. Let me ask you this question. How many fights do you know in the history of heavyweight boxing where a stadium was built for a rematch?
Well, it was as I don't quite understand your question.
Well, the question I'm asking is this. The stadium was built for the rematch, and it all seems to revolve around Anthony Joshua. The size of the ring, everything seemed to revolve around Joshua winning the rematch. Was Andy Ruiz told before, on no uncertain terms, listen, you ain't winning this, keeping this title, so go and enjoy yourself, have fun, but there's no way, and on no uncertain terms, must you beat Joshua in the rematch? Because it just looked to me like a guy who'd been told, no chance, you're not going to win, you shouldn't win, by the powers that be, give your titles up, here's the money, take your money, and go away. Almost like Charles Martin did with the Joshua fight. I could be wrong about that, but I just thought that from the first fight to the second fight, it was a complete contrast.
Well, there was a great contrast, and I don't think it had anything to do with it. I think the problem was this kid wasn't used to money. He wasn't used to money, but he was used to eating all the time. So now he got a lot of money to kind of eat that he wanted to. You can go by, you judge it by going out buying Ferraris, Rolls Royces, big houses, throwing big parties with the naked women laying on tables with food, eating food up the naked women, drinking champagne. You watch him, he's doing the champagne himself because he's being told that Joshua is scared of you. You can go in there and knock him out again. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how much you weigh. Just having a great time, a good party, and a great time, thinking he's gonna go in there and do the same thing over. And I think that's what the problem was. And the other problem is like his trainer said, I tried to discipline. I do the best I can to get in shape, but he felt he could do it his way. He wanted to do it his way. So when they get to the point where they want to do it their way, then this is what happened. It was all on Ruiz. Ruiz did it to himself. He did it to himself, but what you gotta realize is, and you got to understand, and the reason why I'm so critical about everything is because it's not fair to the fans. You know, you pay your hard-earned money, the sponsors, the networks, everybody's working to do a great production, and here it is, you're an athlete, you're the heavyweight champion of the world, you got 3 belts, and you're doing everything to disgrace the networks, to disgrace the fans, to disgrace of the belts. That's a total mistake. I hope it gets itself together, but I don't know. But you know, if you keep spending money the way you're doing, you're gonna have to fight anyway. The bottom line is, you know, I don't think it has anything to do with you can't win the fight. I don't think. And as far as Charles Martin is concerned, Charles Martin is a coward. He was scared. He was scared. You got to remember that Joshua hadn't been beat and knocking everybody out.
Whoa.
He was just a scared fighter.
Wait.
That's all that was.
Charles Martin said I'll walk this earth like a gold, and I'm gonna walk through you. That's what Charles Martin said.
Well, you can say a whole lot of things with your mouth, but you get hit in the mouth. There's a whole different ball game. You know, you say all these different things. I say a whole lot of things, but yeah, they can't do it. I mean, it's easy to say. You don't have a few fighters basically can call out what they're going to do in the fight and actually go in there and do it. You don't have those type of fighters like Sugar Ray Robinson and Muhammad Ali. Ali can't do you good. You will get a good whipping. Sugar Ray Robinson, he beat you real good. Then that's what you're going to get. So a lot of fighters do a lot of talking, but they can't back it up. You know, they can't back it up. It's to build their confidence. They try to also build their confidence. What they should be doing is working on their skills and techniques and defense, try to get through the fight and try to give themselves a win, because they're not walking through anybody.
Oh boy. Let's talk about Joshua versus Pulev. That seems to be the fight that's going to be made.
Joshua beats Pulev.
What?
I mean, Pulev, you know, he's a big plus fighter. He's okay. He threw a lot of punches. He tried to box, but he's not in that class with that kid. He can't beat Joshua.
So where's Bob Arum going with? Joshua's going to get beat by Pulev. Pulev's going to end Joshua. Where's he getting that from?
Well, because I think he has something to do with it. I think he's part of the promoter. So, you know, Don King used to tell me, I think Cesar Chavez was fighting, what's this kid, the kid that they stopped the fight in the last round?
Meldrick Taylor.
This fight at the fight out in Arizona. So I was at that fight. Then they had True Guy was getting ready to fight, I think, Terry North. And so Don King told me, I didn't have a fight on the fight. I was just there. So he said, wanted me to go down to the press room. Stacey go down to the press room and help build this fight, because Trevor Bryan was the second fight that co-featured. He go down and help build this fight. And he said, look, you got to go down there and you got to build up. So Terry North already is known to be. You got to build up to a guy. Okay? So a lot of times you got to build up the underdog. So that's what I did. And my fight was third on the card. When I got through doing that press thing down there, it became the number 2. Because everybody's thinking that, okay, maybe this guy stands a chance. So you have to build an underdog, and this is what Bob is doing. He's trying to build an underdog to gain some interest, and people are saying, well, maybe Bob said this, maybe it could come true, but it ain't gonna happen.
Oh dear. Chisora versus Usyk.
So now,
Derek Chisora versus Alexander Usyk. What do you think?
Rosario?
No, Usyk. Usyk versus Chisora.
I don't know. I don't know. It's very hard to say. You know, the thing about, see, when you ask me questions about, I might be a little too hard on these fighters. Because it's all coming to fruition that these guys are not training. These guys are not training and not being trained properly, and they're not disciplined like the fighters that I used to working with, and their Tom Hearns and all these type of guys. They don't. So it's very hard to predict what this fighter might do, what that fighter might do. You know, I have to just wait and see on some of this stuff. You know.
What about Dillian Whyte? I know you said a lot about Dillian Whyte, but I think he's probably one of the hardest working heavyweights we've got in the world at the moment today.
Yeah, Dillian Whyte is a tough fighter. You know, he's a hard worker. I think he's hungry. I think that he's chasing the big fight. He wants the money. I think that as far as a good fan fight though, I think that if he fought Wilder, if he fought Joshua again or whatever, I think that I don't know, Joshua might have a little bit more problem with it this time, but I think that he come to fight, and I think that he gives the fans what they're looking for. So I got to respect him from that standpoint, that he can give the fans what they're looking for. He's not coming to lay down and sit down. So you got to go. Other than that, you know, to me, he's just a Class B fighter.
Now, the story is, and Eddie Hearn likes to talk a lot, he's put a fight for Andy Ruiz to fight Dillian Whyte. But my hunch is that Dillian White will fight Povetkin next.
Well, I think that Dillian White, the best fight for him to take would be against Povetkin. I trained Povetkin when he fought WBA champ, when he fought Vladimir Klitschko. And I see a big difference between now and then. That was a few years ago. So I see a big difference in Vladimir, although not Vladimir, but Povetkin. I don't. Now the thing about Povetkin is he's a hard worker. He's a hard worker. He's determined. He's a clean liver. But I think that his best years is behind him in boxing, and so that'd be a good fight for Dillian. That'd be a good win for him.
You say that, but my boy the other day fought him, Michael Hunter, and there seemed to be something left in the tank with Povetkin, and Huey Fury found out there was something left in the tank as well. So how much more is left in the tank for Povetkin?
Well, you got to understand, Michael Hunter looked like I don't know what against Povetkin. Povetkin is a decent fighter. Let's not take Michael Hunter and put him up there on the level with these other heavyweights, because he's not there. And he's not there. He's not going to get there. He's not big enough. He's not strong enough. He's not dangerous enough. And nobody's afraid of him. So he's not going to do as well as he did against Povetkin. It's not so much what Povetkin did. It's just that what Hunter can't do. Hunter can't do. I mean, when I had Povetkin, I had to spine with Trevor Bryan. I had to pull Trevor Bryan out the ring and have a talk with Trevor Bryan and just let him know, look, you can't be in there hit this guy like this, man. This guy had to make it to the fight. So we're talking about it, and then we're talking about it 4 years ago. So with Hunter, you can't judge Povetkin on Hunter, because Hunter is not the Hunter. He's a hunted.
Hunted. And you're full of lyrics tonight, aren't you, Stacey?
Yeah, I respond real well. So I like Hunter.
Yeah.
I talk to Hunter occasionally, but I like him, and I like his father. So I'm not taking anything from him. He's a small man. He's trying to put a good business for himself, but that fight, really let you know what he really is.
Right, Stacey, I'm going to make a statement here. It's a big statement I'm making, but bear with me, all right? I've called Joe Joyce the British George Foreman in terms of being slow, being heavy-handed, being just constantly chugging forward all the time, has a good chin. He seems to land big shots and knock guys over. He doesn't care about taking a shot himself. Your thoughts?
Well, he's yet to be proven.
Okay.
He's yet to be proven. I watched him real close. He's a good puncher. He's a big boy. He seems to have a decent chin.
Yep.
But he's inexperienced.
Yes.
He's very, very clean and very inexperienced. And he had to be careful about who he fight and when he fight, especially guys at the top. Now somebody offered a lot of money to fight. He got to go and fight anybody, but he has a long ways to go. But he doesn't have a lot of time to get there.
I understand that. It seems to be for me. He's slow and he does seem ponderous. That's why I see the whole Foreman thing. But when he gets you against the ropes, he seems to do pretty good.
Yeah. Well, the thing about big guys like that, you can be slow. You can be what we call slow and what we call speed. Maybe not even be speed. So okay. You can be slow, but you're methodical.
Yes.
That's what I'm telling you about training heavyweights. You can't. Now it's like this kid, like you say, you think he's slow. All right, then they say how you gonna train him. Then I got to make him more methodical because his reflex is not fast as most fighters. So you got to train him the way God made him. Right? If I got in there and tried to make him a speed fighter, then I'll be doing him an injustice. So that's what I say about training heavyweights. So, okay, we're not gonna throw a lot of combinations with speed fighter, but what we do is we be more methodical because you're all big and strong. So all I got to do is place your shots. And I don't need to teach you how to do 25 or 30 different things. We're going to do 5 or 6 different things.
Very well.
Perfect those things in condition. Yeah.
And I mean,
when George Foreman came back, he was more methodical than he was when he first when he left the ring.
That's the Foreman. That's the Foreman I'm talking about. I'm talking about Foreman comeback Foreman, not Foreman early Foreman. I'm talking about.
He was patient and he was more methodical. He was more methodical. He placed his shots.
Yes.
And so he was a better fighter because of that. He wasn't trying to keep up with the Muhammad Ali speed and all this type of thing that he was trying to do in the beginning. Worried about that. He was being more methodical. Place your shots and put them there. That's all you got to do when they're big like that. Now, my fighter, Trevor Bryan's a little bit different. He's a big guy, but he got the speed. And the speed and the combination of a fighter like Jimmy Young. He has speed and throws a lot of punches for a big guy. So now I can let him do his speed and be hard at the same time.
Okay.
There's difference all on the makeup in heavyweights.
Now, the other day, and I've never been a big fan of this gentleman. I think he's a decent fighter, but I think he's very much hyped up. And this is where I brought the connection with Joyce. A Jagba fought the other day in the heavyweight division and got dropped by a guy that Joyce also fought and walked straight through his punches. A Jagba got hurt and stunned on a lot of occasions by this same gentleman. And the thing was, for me, this guy's a noted puncher. And I'm thinking to myself, if Jagba's getting wobbled and dropped by him, it doesn't look good for him moving up the heavyweight division. Your thoughts?
Well, yeah, I saw him. You have to understand now. You go back to the amateurs, right?
Yes.
Did you see him get knocked out in amateurs?
I don't know his amateur pedigree.
Yeah. When you go back to the Olympics, he knocked out the number one fighter, which is the Cuban, but he turned around and got beat himself. The thing about this kid is this. He's a big kid. He can punch. He try to put his combinations together. He's not a good thinker. He's not a very good thinker. He has a weakness. He can't see right hands.
Ooh.
And every time he's been down and been hit with a right hand, he got hit with a right hand. I mean, it was a right hand. It wasn't. You could get hit, but not flush like that so easy. It's just like you was a deer in the headlights. You were blind. The shot came and you were blind. You didn't even see the shot. And it came and it wasn't a fast punch. So the guy got a blindness on his left side. He can't see right hand. So what you got to do is, and he doesn't have the best chin. That's obvious because he's been knocked out before. So he doesn't have the best chin. He wasn't hit by the best puncher. So he doesn't have the best chin. So what you have to do is, you got the guy to make him box more and move to his right and teach him defense against the right hand because he'll get hurt by a right hand fighter. You hit on the right hand, you hit on the left hook. So he doesn't have the greatest chin. If they bring him up right, he might get a shot and make some money, but he's not going to beat those top fighters.
That's what I was thinking. You know, I loved listening to you because it's just the well of knowledge and understanding you've got there, and that comes from experience. Stacey, have you ever thought of opening up your own boxing academy? Would you do a masterclass? Would you come to UK and do a masterclass?
Yeah, I would do a class. Come to UK, but I got at my gym here. This building I got right here. I'm thinking about buying this building. They have about 4, 5, 6 different rooms, and I'm gonna turn it into apartments. I'm gonna have the Stacey King Cobra Boxing Academy within the next 12 months. All my fighters will just stay there. Yeah, I got camp houses. I'm gonna close the camp houses down, so all the fighters will stay right here at the boxing gym with nice apartments and everything. We got nice apartments. I have hot tubs, the whole works. So
I need to come out there, Stacey. I need to come out there and do some work with you. I mean, the thing is this. In all seriousness, people like yourself, Stacey, Nazim Richardson, James Elliott Bashir, all the old school, you guys need to set up academies because these new school trainers don't know what they're doing. We need guys like you to play it forward. And you need to get paid well to do it because the trainers we've got today haven't got a clue. And you can see it because the fights they're producing.
I was talking to Kevin Cunningham, and the conversation was, Kevin Cunningham was training AD. He trained Tank Davis for one fight.
Yep.
And he trained Spinks and all those guys. So that's not easy a friend of mine. But anyway, I was talking to him. He was asking me, Stacey, what do we think is wrong? What's going on? I said, two or three different things going on. Number one, they don't have control of the fighters. The promoters and the managers don't have control of the fighters anymore. And it's very hard to build a superstar. As soon as you think you got a kid that's headed to the top, it's going to be the next star. Something happens. I mean, they did it with Errol Spence. Okay, everybody knew that Errol Spence was an alcoholic. Everybody knew that Errol Spence drank. Everybody knew that. So how was Errol Spence driving a Ferrari under influence in the first place? That's because there was nobody with him. There was nobody there to take care of him. It's the old philosophy with Don King. And I told him, I said, well, people say, well, Errol Spence, he's a grown man. We got to know that you can't have that type of attitude. That's the wrong attitude, okay? He's a grown man, sure he is. He has to be responsible for himself, sure he does. But if you got a job to do, it's your job to protect this guy, to this guy walked out in front of the car, it's your fault. You got to have that type of attitude. I should have seen him walking in front of the car. You don't have the attitude. He's a grown man. He should know better.
Yeah.
That's not the way boxing is.
But I know you said this thing about him being an alcoholic, but I saw this time and time again in interviews, being drunk, walking to press conferences, people laughing it off. I mean, if Errol Spence is going to be a superstar, surely you've got to address those alcoholic issues, get to the root of the problem, or you're going to lose the superstar. And we almost lost a superstar, potential superstar, in that car accident. Why are the people around Errol Spence not addressing the alcoholic issue? Instead of laughing off and there's another funny Errol Spence. Look at that interview with Errol Spence. Look what he did in the press conference. Look at that soul. Look at that poor soul. That alcoholic. He's got issues. He needs help. He's crying out he needs help. And somebody needs to deal with him. Somebody close to me say, hey son, what's the problem? What's going on here?
That's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Now let me explain something now. Let's go with Don King. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's go with Don King. All right. I've been with Don 35 years.
Okay.
Consistently. Okay. Now, when you were fighting for Don King, you had to go to Don King's training camp. You had to go into training camp. Don King would say, okay, since you got a problem. Your trainers and the people around you can't handle you. You got a problem, brother man. Don used that term, brother man. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put Stacey Mckinley with you. He's going to be with you at all times until this fight is over, okay? He's going to be with you. He ain't asking him. He's not asking, I would like for you to do it. No. He's
telling you, yes.
If you want this fight, this is what you got to do. You got to go in my camp at this particular time. And my trainer is not trying to get your trainer out of their job, but he's going to be there. His job is to help. And working together help. Do you understand that, brother, man? Yes, I know. Okay, then, let's go to work.
Stacey, sorry to interrupt you there.
You don't have that.
Sorry
to... That's right. The fighter say, I'm going to train where I want to train with. I'm going to train with who I want to train with. But you ain't going to have no superstar, brother, because they ain't going to make it that far. It's going to always get stopped. They're not going to make it that far because they don't have the discipline, and the trainers and the managers are afraid of the fighters. I don't think I stayed with Mike Tyson, one of the most vicious fighters that ever lived. I was there for 10 years because I understood what my job was and what I had to do. A lot of times, we wouldn't have had to no fights. It wasn't for me. But I had to do my job. But I had everybody surrounding us. Make sure they were in the payroll and everybody was happy. So just like you send his soldiers out, okay? He move this way, you move that way. You move that way, you move over there. You block him over here, you do this, you make sure this. They don't have that anymore. And this is what I was telling them. The PBC, as big as they are, got Showtime, they got Fox, got all that. They don't even have a PBC training camp, training facilities for their fighters. If I sign those fighters, I have to have my camp. You got to go to my camp. You can't go to my camp, and I'm not going to invest my money because we're not going anywhere. I already know that. So they don't have that now. It's very hard to get that. These guys figure, I can in the recreation center, I can party and go out all through the week and still fight. Well, you want to go so far. It's going to be, because there's always going to be a Rosario around. Like happened last night. There's always going to be a Rosario out there. Somebody that's hungry and trying to make it and doing the right thing. You don't have a problem with that particular fighter. So it's the whole philosophy has changed. And the trainers are scared. The trainers are scared of the fighters. They're afraid that they're going to, if I come down on it too hard, I'm going to lose my job. What they don't understand is, if you got a promoter behind you like Don, the fighter can't fire you anyway because you're doing your job. And then the fighter don't realize that, you know what? You don't tell yourself, you tell somebody else, Don, behind back. Because now you understand that, hey, look, I'm going to this big fight. I need some help for real. So, but you can't be afraid of the fighter. He's not going to fire you. Tell him the truth. That's all you got to do. You know, but these guys ain't going to tell the truth. He'll get mad like this. So why did he get mad? You know, but they don't have that attitude. So that's one of the big problems. And they don't have that as well. You might have one of the guys work for Al Henderson. Well, you know, that old school way don't work. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. The problem is the fighter don't have respect to you. See, fighters got to respect certain trainers because you look at the portfolio, you look at the experience, It's like I told Tank Davis. I started talking to Tank Davis at the press conference before his last fight, and we're in Atlanta at the press conference, and so Tank looked at me and said, "How you want to get him more? Lay on his side or lay on his back?" Now he started that conversation with me. So I told him this. I said, "Let me ask you a question. You're a good fighter. You got a lot going for you." I said, "Have you ever heard of a fighter by the name of Joe Gaines?" He said, "No." I said, "You from Baltimore, Maryland, and you never heard of Joe Gaines?" "No, who is that?" I said, "Joe Gaines was the first African American world champion. He's the one who invented scientific boxing." Then Adrian Bruno walked up the station. I heard of Joe Gaines. So I told him, "Hey, you go back and watch some of those films." I said, "He had 141 fights." I said, "He only lost 7. He's welterweight champion of the world. He invented scientific boxing. You from Baltimore, he's from Baltimore, and you trying to make light of me, and you don't even know that." So he sit there looking like a damn fool. Then look up. He asked his trainer, asked his little trainer, Kevin Ford. I call him Kevin T. Mile Ford. He asked him, he said no. So now you got two blind men, blind trying to lead the blind. Come on, man. They don't know the history of this boxing. They don't study history. You know, you got to study the history. You got to know where Henry Armstrong come from. You got to understand what Willie Pep did.
Mm-hmm.
If their fighters could fight halfway like these guys, Kid Chocolate and all those boys, they'd be some hell of a fighters, but you don't have that, though.
Now we're talking boxing. 3 things. First of all, I want to come back to you about what you said about Don King looking after bringing fighters. I remember the Oliver McCall story and how he rehabilitated Oliver McCall to go on to become world champion.
Well, Oliver McCall has always been a big puncher.
Yes.
He's always been a big puncher, but he fought scary. And so what they did with Oliver was just like what happened to Rosario last night. They brought Oliver into Atlantic City to fight. Forget the kid name from Atlantic City. Tyson beat him. Brought him in to fight as an opponent, and Oliver knocked him out. So what happened was Don said, "Okay, I'm gonna give you a shot at my fight, Tony Tucker." I was training Tony Tucker, so they fight for the USBA title, and I took Tony, and Tony beat him. But then Don said, "Well, later on we're gonna get Oliver fight with Lennox Lewis." So we give him a fight with Lennox Lewis, but he had to go to the King's training camp. We was all in the camp together. See, we was all in camp together. Coming up to the fight, he was working with Greg Page. Then they wanted to bring Emmanuel Stewart on the end to help refine. So Emmanuel Stewart had told Don, said, "Listen, the sparring partner that you got for Oliver McCall is not good enough." He said, "Don't be cheap with this money. Let's get Tony Tucker." So I said, "I ain't letting Tony Tucker go." Then Don said, "You don't have to let him go." So I let Tony Tucker spar when he helped get him ready. And he went in and he knocked Lennox Lewis out.
I do want to also mention something else about the Don King training camp. Many years ago, when I was in America, I was training in Florida, not far from Pembroke Pines. I was at a gym. I remember always having to open the gym. It was a very small gym. But two things I remember. I remember training in the gym, and then people saying "King," and I was looking around the gym, and I just saw all these fighters leaving the gym. And the next thing I saw, a limousine outside the gym, and I didn't see the person get out of the car, but they said, "It's Don King. We've got to leave the gym now." And that stuck in my mind, and it made me realize that Don King wasn't just a promoter, that he had more control of the fighters than was probably led to be believed. And the press probably didn't know how much control King had of the fighters.
He had total control. He had total control over the fighters. He had total control over the managers. He had total control over the trainer. He had total control. Now, a person might say, "Well, how you gonna control it?" He had to have total control. He had to, because he understood. He understood that look, these fighters ain't gonna do right. If you don't be on top of your game and on top of your business, it's gonna get away from you. So the fighter themselves is the business. Basically, you can't have a fight without the fighters. So that's the product. You got to stay on top of the product. You got to be able to willing to see the product. You got to be able to put hands on the product. Talk to the product. Tell them this is where it's going to be. Sign right here. Everything is documented. You got to sign to go to training. If you're going to take this fight, you got to sign to be in training camp. I'm going to put this trainer with you there, Don, I'm going to put coordinator with you. But make sure that you got everything that you need. Training, everything is there. Everything you need is there. All the way back to Ernest Shavers, Chevrolet Leonard, all those guys went to Don King's training camp. You didn't have that training in the rec center and training where you want to train. Didn't have that. This is why Don King made over $3 billion in boxing. He made $3 billion better in boxing because he had total control. And you have to have control. So you have to understand that he wasn't afraid. A lot of guys are afraid, let the train fighter do what he want to do, and the managers get upset and blah, blah, blah. Don call you in the office and say, I'll tell you a story. That taught me a lesson. With Don. I was training Tony Tucker. We was in Mexico. We was in Mexico. There was something going on that I didn't like. There's something that I didn't like. And I'm raising hell about it. And Don called me in his office. He sit me down and talk to me. In fact, I verbally abused him. But when Oliver McCall knocked out Lennox Lewis, we all went over to Mexico to fight, and Chavez was fighting, and we had a big dinner party for him. Okay, I was pissed off at Don, and I said things that I shouldn't have said, but I asked for Jose Sumau to forgive me. I stood up and I spoke, and I said some things that I shouldn't have said, but I did it, and everybody said, Stacey, Don gonna fire you. You're gonna get fired. And I said, no, Don is not gonna fire me. You'll get fired. I said, because what I did was, I did what Don King do. I told the truth and called him out in front of everybody. He's not gonna fire me. I said, you'll get fired. Then they couldn't figure out, well, why come Don been fired? Because Don could cuss me. He knew I wasn't afraid. They lied to Don and telling them things, and it was lying to Don. Said, I'm not worried about Stacey. Stacey gonna tell me the truth because it cost him his job. So you got to be strong-willed to understand this. And he knew I could tell Stacey to go and do this and tell that fighter this. He knew I wasn't afraid. And so you got to but now you don't have that. You don't have that. And what happens is the network ends up with bad fights. The fighters are walking around here like Ruiz all big. I would have never had that, brother. That wasn't gonna happen. And if I had a sword, I would say, DK, this guy ain't eating everything, he got the fat. Your production gonna look bad. Don would say, get him in the camp. Get him over here. I almost had a sign with Don. I hadn't signed with Don. And Bob Aaron found out that Don was talking to Ruiz, and then he offered him that fight with Parker. I told Don, the reason fight. I said, now I'm not trying to make him build and pretty, but like that's other guys, but he could fight. So you got to have that control. If not, you will always get them close to making a star, and they're gonna fall. Every time they're gonna fall. They ain't gonna make it because boxing does not change. In the ring does not change. It's the same discipline they had 100 years ago. It's not gonna change. Don't say, well, I'm gonna do it different. No. Because you're getting hit upside the head, and the punches is coming fast and hard. So it doesn't change. That's why I try to stay as close to the boxing as I can. A lot of these guys that's training fighters got jobs. They're working at the hospitals. They driving trucks. You can't train no fighter and drive a truck driver. You can't train a fighter and work in the steel mill. If you want to train a fighter and be successful at it, that's all you got to do. You got to be able to dedicate your life to that. You got to live and breathe this every night, 24 hours a day. Sometimes you dream about the fighter. Now, Stacey wasn't successful. You don't become successful, you ain't gonna make it. You gonna starve to death. If you got a job on the side, you ain't worried about starving to death. Whatever night I don't make it, I got my job, I got my little income. That ain't the way we operate. See, we don't operate like that. I don't operate like that. Mine's 24/7. If I don't make a fighter, I don't eat. But I made it that way. That's the way I wanted it. I wanted it that way. You gonna swim, you gonna drown. And this is the way we live it. That's like you have to work hard to stay on top of it. And this is what Don King loves about me. Because he called me today. He called me today and said, Stacey, get the airport tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, we're going to Europe. I'm there. I'm not going to say, Don, look, my girlfriend don't want me with my aunt Joyce, her toe was hurt. She had an operation. Go on, get the operation. I'm going. He know that. And you got to have that type of attitude in order to make it on that particular level. On that level. So So it's very complicated, and then again, it's not complicated.
So can you explain to me Stavern's last two fights, his fight with Joyce and his fight with Wilder, and why he was in the sort of condition he was in for those two fights?
Well, you know, okay, there's a geographical part of this boxing. It all depends on what part of the world you're from.
Right.
It all depends on what your ethnic background is.
Right.
You got guys like Chicken fighters. You got African fighters. You got guys from South America. You got Latino fighters. These guys are used to eating a lot, especially heavyweight. They eat a lot. It's hard to discipline because they sit down and they eat all this rice and pile all this rice and stacks of food. And so what they do is they eat themselves out of the championship, and that's what Savard did. He get all that weight on him. Now he got to work real hard to try to get it off, and he breaks his own body down. Samuel Peters the same way, 80 cent by the championship. Savard did the same thing. Reddick Bowie, all of them did the same thing. Ruiz did the same thing. So you got to understand, okay, this guy's from this part of the world, so this is what he used to eat. You got to change all of that. You got to be able to change it. Another time, put on a nutritionist, get him in training camp, because he's not in training camp. He's going to the same spot every day and eat. So you got to get him there and get a cook for him. So this is what you got to eat. Then prepare it this way and prepare it that way. If you're trying to make it, if you're trying to get to the top. So that's what happens to Stavern. You know, he want to eat. He want to lay around. Say, hey, that's what happens.
Yeah,
so
I've seen it. I saw it up close. I saw it real up close. Spent a week with him when he was in the UK, and I got to see him up close. Go to a fighter meeting, stay in a hotel with him, so I got to see how a heavyweight, moves. You know, he loved the food. So I get it.
Yeah.
I get exactly what you're saying right there. Wow.
Big baby John Michael the same way.
Yep.
He loves to eat and steroids, and then they become, as my friends say, they become very, very, very intelligent and high in knowledge of the game. Once they do that, you got them. See, it's not like Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns and Mike Tyson. When they come to the gym, they put their career in your hands. Okay, you're the boss. But when these guys leave the gym, they think they're the boss in the gym and out of the gym.
Oh boy.
So you don't, but you have to start them up, you have to sit them down, and it's just like Ricardo Mariota. It's like Ricardo Mariota.
Yeah.
Now Don King called out in Vegas, and Romero getting ready to fight Brandon Forrest. Don King called, asked me to come to Florida to train Ricardo Mariota. He fight Brandon Forrest. At the time, Brandon Forrest and Roy Jones was pound for pound the best in the world. And I said, Ricardo Mariota? He said, yes. So I came here. I come to Florida. I went in the gym. I watched him train. I watched him train for about 4 rounds. Then we went to Don's house that night, and Don asked me, he said, well, Stacey, what do you think? I said, well, this kid right here, he will knock Brandon Forrest out. He said, wait a minute, you think? He said, Don said, if you go the distance, man, we still gonna get the fight. I said, don't worry about it. He gonna knock Brandon Forrest out. Then he got on, he got to smoke cigarettes and he got to drink. Drink a lot of beer and smoke cigarettes. So he said, well, what we got to do is we got to lock him down in the camp up there so he can't be drinking and can't be smoking. I said, Don, let me handle this. I'll handle that part. Don't worry about that. So what I did was I got with the fighter, got with his brother-in-law to translate, make sure everything come out right. And I said, look, this is what we're going to do, Ricardo. Monday through Friday, I don't want you smoking cigarettes, and I don't want you drinking, okay? And on Saturdays, I'm going to give you a pack of cigarettes and all the beer you want to sit behind the camp. And you can drink and smoke all day long if you want to, okay? He hugged me, kissed me on the cheek. He said, you understand. Now, when the word got back to Don Stacey gave that boy beer from the front. Don said, man, we're trying to get him off. I said, no. You're not going to get him off of it. But you got to learn. I said, Don, this is what you call management. You got to manage the situation. Because if you don't, you just do it every day. So it's best to let them do it one day than to do it about 6 days. So it's called management. But you got to understand all of that. You have to understand all these different things. A lot of people don't understand that stuff. So that's another part of boxing that these young guys don't understand. fighters don't understand it. Fighters, managers, trainers don't understand it. But how the other fighters don't know? They don't know. So it all comes from experience and being with top fighters and being with top organizations.
That you see, right? See, just what you just said right there. That there should be a course in boxing management. That a 101. That should be a certificated course, just like that. The Stacey Mckinley 101 to boxing management, because that is key. Even when you're talking about the various the parts of the world the fighters come from and stuff, that's incredible stuff, incredible knowledge. And as a person who wants to go on and become a boxing trainer, it's in professional boxing. It is so much knowledge I'm picking up here from you today. It's incredible, and this is the sort of knowledge that we need in boxing today. Not trainers talking like promoters. We need trainers talking like trainers.
You know, it's the fight. You gotta get ready technically, physically, mentally, but the fight is in the mind. See, the fight is in the mind. You have a fighter that all the skills and everything, but your mind is weak. You still ain't got nothing. So everything has to be working. Everything it's like a clock. Everything has to be working on the clock. You break one part of the clock, it's working. That's the way. The fight is the same way. You got to have a chance to work on every aspect of the game, because the fight is in the mind. Once you get the body technically together and everything, then you go get the mind together. It's just like it's like I made a statement when John Boyd already tried to take Davis.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up slightly.
So we're going to take it. Break it up?
Yeah, try again. Go again.
Okay now?
Yeah, try. Go ahead. Go. Yeah, go.
Yeah, I said when you got to fight Davis, I said, listen, we're going to take him in deep water and drown him. Just like Rick Leonard told Ruiz. I'm going to take him in deep water and I'm going to drown him. So everybody was talking about, well, how is he going to do that? Tank Davis going to knock him out in 3 rounds? No, he's not. He's not knocking him out in 3 rounds. Now, why is it he's not going to knock him out in 3 rounds? Because he runs his own training camp. First of all, his trainer don't have the experience. He doesn't have the experience. And he runs his own training camp. But basically, how do you know that he's doing all these things? Because the man walking around at 180 pounds. You walking around at 180 pounds 9 weeks before you go fight. You're going to be in a fight before you get to the fight to get all that weight off.
Damn.
Then he came to the fight, to the weigh-in, and an hour late, and then couldn't make weight. Now, he come back another hour, but then he went out there and tried to get that pound and a half off. He done killed his body. And then I heard the trainer say, don't drink, don't eat anything. Just drink water and juice for the next 3 hours. The next 3 hours, don't eat anything. Now, that tells me something right there. I understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to hydrate your fighter. But your fighter done killed this stuff. I know how to make this weight. But you're trying to hydrate your fighter. Okay? And at the same time, you don't know how to hydrate your fighter. You're hydrating your fighter if you give it a fight in the Golden Gloves. As an amateur fighter. That's amateur stuff that you're talking about, trainer. To hydrate, drink all the juice. No. You need to take your fighter to the doctor and give him an IV to put all the numbers and everything back into his system. That's where you do that. You got $1 million fighter. But he don't know that. These are things he don't know.
Damn.
If that had been my fighter, that's the first thing I would have done. Lay down. I'm taking over here. I'm putting him on his IV. I'm going to get him hydrated the right way. They don't know this stuff. They don't know all this, but they figure they got a great fighter. They go to a 38-year-old man with a torn Achilles heel, take you 12 rounds. He's supposed to be a killer.
But I've said this over and over and over, and anybody on this channel can testify. I've said that Tank Davis is a good fighter, but he's no superstar. He's no superstar. And that starts with you outside the ring, how you conduct yourself outside the ring. You blown up in weight 20, 30, 40 pounds in between fights. That's not a superstar.
No, it's not a superstar at all. He's going to catch up with him.
Of course it is.
He nervous in the middle of that fight. He started getting winded. And you got a 38-year-old man in there in the ring with you, man. But with a dog on the foot, I had to take tape and make a cast on that foot. You still couldn't get no weight on it. And you still let that man take you 12 rounds. How you gonna be a superstar? You got a long ways to go, but you had a fight 4 years ago. You got knocked out. You got to understand that. But this calls for a lot of work. a lot of work, a lot of experience, and it's great when we do it. When we do it and do it the right way. Do it the right way.
There's another observation I'm making here. Floyd Mayweather. How much hands-on does he have with his fighters? Because I'm getting the impression he doesn't have much hands-on at all.
Well, it's like Floyd Mayweather. He tries to have hands on, but you have to understand Floyd's mindset. Floyd Mayweather's mindset is different from these fighters.
Mm-hmm.
I knew Floyd. I worked with Floyd daily a couple fights. I trained him for a couple fights, and I knew Floyd's entire family. And Floyd was different. When I was training Tyson at the Golden Girls Gym in Las Vegas, Floyd was just getting his career going. And I used to sit there and watch Floyd train. After we finished, I just sit there and didn't say nothing. And then I would leave. And then he would come on and ask me, how did I look? I wouldn't say anything. I just nod my head and walk out. So one day he came over and asked me, he said, Stacey, how did I look? I said, sit down, let me talk to you for a minute. I said, look. I said, you will win world titles in at least 4 different weight classes. And this is before he just getting started. He had been going about 12 fights. Maybe not that many. He said, yeah? I said, yeah. I said, because you don't think you can be beat. I said, in the way that you train, you're not going to be beat. You're going to be able to take a hell of a fighter to beat you. I said, now, let me tell you what I see. He said, what do you see? I said, I'm looking in your eyes, Floyd. Your eyes is telling me a story. He said, yeah. I said, I've seen eyes like that before. He said, eyes like mine? I said, yeah. He said, who was it? I said, young man by the name of Sugar Leonard.
Wow.
Had the same eyes that Sugar Leonard got. I said, you don't think you can be beat. I said, you will win multiple championships in at least 4 different weight classes.
Damn.
So I think 3 years ago we was in Miami at the WBC convention. And so Floyd said, he said, come on, sit at my table, Stacey. So I sit at his table. I said, Floyd, remember I told you can win in 4 different weight classes? He said, Stacey, you lied. I said, what you mean I lied? He said, I did it in 6, not 4, but 1, 6. So we had a big laugh about that. Now, Floyd is dedicated to his skills in his boxing. 100%. You got to give it Floyd Mayweather. So when Floyd these other fighters, it turns him and it depresses him because he looking at them like, what's wrong with these guys? Don't these guys know that this is not the way you do this? You see, so he'll walk away from him. Now I was in the dressing room watching Tank Davis get his hands wrapped, and Floyd was standing right there, and we was having a conversation. And Tank Floyd said, Stacey, this boxing game is a dangerous business, ain't it? I said, yep. He said, it's a dangerous game. I said, yeah, man. Then he said, but it ain't dangerous for me. I said, no, because you're going to stay ready. He said, right. He said, I know that. I'm going to stay ready. So you're dealing with a guy like Floyd. It's just like when guys say, well, Sugar Ray Robinson going to start training fighters. Sugar Ray Robinson can't train no fighter. You expect too much of him. He was too great. You want him to get there fast. Roy Jones going to tell you he don't train no fighters. Tony Hearn can't train fighters. He's not going to do that because the bar is so high and they expect you to get there. It takes a lot of time and patience. So it's the same way with Floyd. Floyd can look at the fighter and say, why am I looking at worried about you and you gonna make $5 or $6 million? I ain't gonna make me 35 or 40 $50 million, $100 million myself. So you're dealing with all of that. So it's strange, but I understand it. Just like the guy saying, well, I'm gonna be the next Michael Jackson. You're not gonna be the next Michael Jackson. You forget about that. That don't happen. I'm gonna be the next Mike Tyson. No. That won't happen in 500 years. There's only one. One Tyson, one Ali, one Michael Jackson. That's it. You know, there ain't gonna be another one.
Did you? So, while you're on that subject, there's a guy that everyone's saying is the new Mike Tyson. Have you seen him? Mike Tyson even met him. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I seen Mike Tyson. I saw him. In fact, Mike told the boy to get with me, but I'm not gonna deal with that fantasy because that's fantasy for me. I can't deal with that because we don't know Mike. I don't really know that. He doesn't have the mindset. He doesn't have the skills. He doesn't have the speed. That is a phenomenon. You will find no one like that. a guy with all that speed, with all that speed and all that power, and the mindset that he had before he went into Indiana incarceration, the mindset that he had was to seek to destroy. It's going to be hard to find that. Very hard to find that. So I don't even want to deal with that because say, well, this and that. Now, we're long ways from that. So I don't want to deal with it. But I understand. I got a guy in my gym. That's 20 years old. He loved Mike Tyson. I'm going to fight like Mike. I'm thinking to the other day, I looked at him, I showed him a few things, saying to myself, you realize 20 years old, when Mike 20 years old, he's heavyweight champion of the world.
Yeah.
It's a big difference. So these are things that you got to go through, and this boxing business. And I love it and I respect boxing. I love it and I respect boxing. There are a lot of people, the networks and sponsors are trying to help us with our sport. And what we do, we go out there and embarrass them looking like Ruiz. Come on, man. It's no business. I mean, that's bad. It's sad. It's a sad situation.
What to?
But that's the way.
Go on. Go ahead.
I said, but anyway, it's a great sport, and it's still alive. And one of the things that I was saying when I was doing the press conference in Baltimore, I really commended the people and thanked the people for coming out because they were very supportive. They were very supportive of Ken Davis. The people show up, just like AJ in Europe. They come out for this guy. So you got to understand. And like the reason you got to understand, I tell my guys all the time. One of the problems we're having right now is the fighters are not doing anything for the people. That's the biggest problem. They're taking the ones who can get it and taking, but they're not giving back to the community, not doing anything for the people. And without the people, you don't have anything. Because your power lies in your people ties.
I blame some of these PR people because they're just as bad. The PR people are just as bad. They're the people don't know much about boxing. They just know about PR, but they don't know about boxing, and they are ruining boxers. Believe me, they're ruining boxers. I'm sure you know it yourself.
They don't know, and they can't explain. They can't explain. Say, I always go back, and in any interview I have, you notice, I always go back and let you know what the present is, but I also let you know what the past is, where this thing started at and how it got there, and all these different things. So a person can say, you know what? I see boxing a little bit different now. I'm getting to be more knowledgeable about boxing. I didn't know these things. I didn't know these type of things that Stacey Mckinley was talking about. I never heard of these fighters. These fighters, I never heard of some of these fighters. You come to my gym, I got big pictures on the wall. I got John L. Sullivan. I got Jack Johnson. I got all these great fighters on the wall. I got women fighters on the wall. First battle up the women fight. All the and he kept looking and he said, who was this? Who was that? I had to explain it to him. This is where it started. John L. Sullivan, first heavyweight champion of the world. I had to explain all these different things to him. You look at the pictures and you give them the knowledge of it. And they learn. They can learn from that. So it's a lot of work, a lot to talk about. And boxing's alive, but we got to give something to the people. Because with the people.
I do want to give a shout while I'm on this show. Big shout out to my brother, the grandson of Henry Armstrong, Edward Armstrong. Just learning about. I've always been a fan of Henry Armstrong since the first day I actually saw him. On old tape watching him fight. So it was an honor to talk to him about Henry Armstrong. It made me appreciate what he achieved, and nobody's achieved that feat since. In terms of winning the world titles and having world titles, all three different weight divisions at the same time. An incredible feat, an incredible fighter.
Henry Armstrong was a great fighter. Like you said, that's one of Mike Tyson's favorite fighters. Henry Armstrong, perpetual motion.
Yes.
I got a chance to meet him in 1976. I was going to Nevada for the AAU National Championship. And we stopped there meeting in Manuscript. Tony Hearns, we all stopped at the Recreation Center in St. Louis. And somebody said, hey, there's a guy, an old guy here used to fight. We want to see you guys. So we got out and I didn't know who he was. So I said, well, this is Henry Armstrong. So I got a chance to shake his hand and everything. But yeah, he was one of the good at all times. And he's in super condition too. He stayed in shape. That's what I'm talking about. These guys is great fighters. Great fighters.
Wow.
Henry Armstrong. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Stacey, once again, thank you so much for being on BWTN Sports. It's an honor
It's
to
my
have you.
pleasure.
No, 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 no,
It's my
no, no,
pleasure.
not your. It's an honor to have you on the show. Honestly, I'm before a boxing great, and learning about the sport of the honor and the privilege it is to sit down and listen to you to talk boxing and talk about the sport of boxing in such a way that many people cannot talk about the sport of boxing or cannot begin to fathom. And once again, I've learned so much more in just this short space of time. And at some point, I've got to come and meet you in the flesh and see how you work, because this is incredible. It really is.
Okay, thank you very much, and come see me anytime. Okay.
Thank you so much, Stacey. I appreciate that.
And I love all the people over there. I love all the people over there. Okay.
Thank you so much,
Thank you, sir.
Stacey. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
Once again, appreciate you. Take care.
Okay. Thank you.
So there you have it, Stacey Mckinley, Hall of Fame trainer. As you know, he's trained so many world champions, and wow, what a show! He gave us revelation about Tank Davis, revelation about Errol Spence, revelation about weight making, and not so much about the sport of boxing. Incredible. And we need people like Stacey Mckinley to keep out and talking about the sport of boxing this way. I've learned so much, and as soon as I can, I'll be going to see Stacey McKinley, because his knowledge is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. I hope you've enjoyed the show. I hope it's been so revealing for myself. I hope it's been revealing to you too. And really appreciate Stacey McKinley for giving me his time. That's all from BWTM Sports. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Again, thanks for joining us. We're out. Take care.